mullet up here. Taking the boat for a test run. I'll show you our new weather machine out here. It's been here a couple years, but they have it in full operation now. Standing by. We all know what these machines are for. They claim it's for the radar and the rain, but look at that thing beside it. Kind of running right now. I can't zoom in on it. It's funny how it's pointing at the where the hurricane is right now. That thing points in all directions. There's some new stuff on that front platform that used to not be there. This is all your weather manipulation equipment. Look at the little ones in front of the dome. Those domes can house all kinds of different things. It's not just, the dome's just a housing. Crazy stuff here at Anclote River, Tarpon Springs they have now. That is not for Channel 10. It's your hurricane makers and controllers. We've got plenty of evidence, guys, if y'all look at it. Standing by.
The unprecedented
There's one simple
scheduled path of Hurricane Idalia. This video reveals the path of Hurricane Idalia and the fluctuating energizing of the U.S. network of Nexrad frequency transmitters. Question: is the known atmospheric repelling effect of the Nexrad transmissions playing a part in the track of Hurricane Idalia? Or are we just witnessing many random acts of nature in this video? You decide. Did Hurricane Idalia actually deliver what the script-reading forecasters so adamantly warned us all about? Or, much like the recent Hurricane Hillary that hit Southern California, did what actually occurred with Idalia differ significantly from the super sensationalized warnings? Here's one such warning from the National Weather Service in Tallahassee, Florida. A major hurricane has never entered Appalachia Bay in recorded history. This is your last day to get prepared. The National Weather Service continues saying this: when you try to compare this storm to others, don't. No one has seen this. End quote. If the controllers didn't want Hurricane Idalia to even remain an organized storm or to travel in the trajectory it did, could the storm have been broken up altogether? With patented hurricane suppression technologies that the U.S. military has been working on for 76 years, since the hurricane manipulation program that was initiated all the way back in 1947. The same hurricane suppression and steering technologies that seem to save the Gulf of Mexico oil drilling platforms from being hard hit year after year after year. So here's the final question. Are climate engineering operations just a dangerous proposal, or, in fact, are they an ongoing catastrophic reality that's being used for purposes of power and control? Please look up, stand up, and make your voice heard in this all-important battle to sound the alarm while it can still make a difference. This is Dane Wigington from geoengineeringwatch.org.
control measures are not begun at once, the hurricane will smash across densely populated areas within 48 hours.
11 a.m. EST. A hurricane is forming 960 miles east of Miami, Florida. If control measures are ineffective, it will pass inland at Cape Hatteras in 48 hours. Control operations will begin within 2 hours, but safety precautions should be completed from Cape Fear, north no later than 6 p.m. tomorrow.
At Weather Central, the control strategy is mapped out. A ridge of high pressure slants across the eastern United States between two low-pressure storm systems. If these two storm centers are intensified, the high will build up along the coast, forming a barrier that will turn the hurricane out to sea.
Stand by. Now pulling in satellite number 1 for visual check of low-pressure systems L20 and L21.
The operator brings the satellite into focus on the two storms. One centered over Kansas, the other over Labrador.
Changing the northeastern low, L21.
With a touch of a button, the battle begins. On the ground, chemical cloud seeders begin to work the two storm areas. Robot planes seed the clouds from above. The storm centers over Kansas and over Labrador intensify as seeding continues.
Now changing over to Hurricane Center H8.
The fury of the hurricane mounts as 100-mile-an-hour winds lash the sea to a foaming frenzy.
All stations, Sector C. Activate Phase 2, Control Plan Delta. Set vapor rockets for 42,000 feet. Execute.
As an emergency measure, the controller calls for a salvo of vapor rockets to be fired ahead of the path the hurricane is predicted to take. These artificial clouds will block the sun from evaporating more water to feed the hurricane. The reports coming into the control center indicate that the diversionary cloud seeding over Kansas is now creating a flood danger. Specially equipped robot aircraft are dispatched immediately to release a high concentration of cloud seeding material into the fringes of the storm. Heavier seeding from the ground also helps to subdue the rain by spreading it over a wider area. The controller calls for another view of the hurricane, which has now moved closer to the coast.
Signal out on number 1 satellite. 10-minute interruption for correction. Have you anything else in the area?
Satellite station S1 is approaching area. We'll make contact. S1, this is Weather Central. Request video signal at grid coordinates COCO.
An emergency situation has developed. In an orbiting space station 1,000 miles above the hurricane, a crewman sends a temporary picture back to Weather Central.
Okay, S1, your video is R5S5. Thank you.
The hurricane has stopped moving toward the coast, but is still intensifying. It must be made to move northward and out to sea. This is a crisis.
Aberdeen Station. Activate multiple seeding rockets on course 117.
The controller decides to fire cloud seeding rockets just ahead of the hurricane, hoping to start it moving. Slowly, the hurricane begins to shift. All available forces have been brought into play. Now we can only watch and wait. After hours of tension, the turning point is reached. Latest reports indicate the control strategy is successful. At last, the high-pressure ridge has settled along the coast, forming an invisible wall of safety. The storm is over. The danger has passed. The hurricane has been defeated, turned away from the land, and left to spend itself harmlessly far out at sea. In the world of tomorrow, weather control will enrich and safeguard our daily lives. In the foreseeable future, we will conquer more than violent storms. We will turn the destructive elements of today into new sources of power, shaping the land on which we live. All mankind will benefit. Arid wastelands will be made green and fertile, and vast frozen areas will become productive. To this end, man-made satellites will probe the secrets of the skies. They will be our eyes in outer space.